Yeah, I'm not seeing near the activity in here that normally, you know, bait or fish, either one. Normally you see them, see the bait fish ringing up, or you see the bait, you know, or the bass in here. Yeah. I'm looking out here behind us, and they're all out through there. There's seeing a lot of activity out through there. Make a couple more casts in here if it doesn't yield some results here shortly. Ooh. Come on. Oh, he's going the other way. Come here. Another little guy. But still fun to catch on topwater in January. You know, it's like this middle of January. Get to catch a little guy on topwater. Got up this morning, looked at my phone at 28 degrees. It's like, oh, it's gonna be chilly. Oh, oh, felt weight. I think part of it is these fish just have gotten, over the last couple of years, it's become more and more popular and better known about these fish being in here, and a lot more guys coming in here and catching them. Fish have gotten a little more particular about what they eat and how they eat it. At least that's how it seems anyway. Definitely the size of the fish has gone down. I mean, heck, sometimes I go back and look at the very first show that I did, which was 5 or 6 years ago, and was right here before they put these barriers in fact. But they heck, yeah, I was catching 4 and 5 pounders. I mean, it was pretty neat deal. And at that point, you know, very few people knew anything about these fish, or that these fish were here. But and then that show went on the air, and I've revisited it, you know, just about every year since then. I'm gonna spin and turn here. But it's neat to see, yeah, guys still coming out here and catching some fish. Come over here on Saturday or Sunday morning, there'll be 3 or 4 boats lined up. You know, when you're trying to make really long casts, if you go to a smaller line size, it'll actually help you cast a little bit further. And this is a 17-pound test. I'm still able to throw this little bait pretty good, but if I'd put it on 12 or 14, I'd be able to throw it, you know, a little further. But apparently, when it was cracked and split. When it was split like that, it just wore the pump out. So I ended up having to replaced the pump last night. Alright. Not a big guy, but he's hooked under the chin. Cool. Cool. Pretty little Lake Wylie bass. There you go, buddy. Alright. See, they were doing this 1 year before when I was... Oh! He got it sitting there. Yep. They were doing that a couple years ago. I was in here, and literally you'd have to throw it out there and let it sit and let all the rings dissipate. And then the first time you twitched it, they would jump on it. They were a lot bigger, but still fun. Yeah. Sweet. All right, now let's get a big one. But it's funny, I was sitting here talking, letting the rings dissipate from that bait hitting the water, and I see the fish come up there and boil. One year, like I said, it was 3 or 4 years after I found these fish, and it was kind of see, that one got it. See, they're up there looking at it when that bait's, I'm convinced that they see that bait hit the water and they start looking at it and looking for it. And as soon as you start twitching it or moving it, they jump on it. Little bitty guy. Little bitty guy. Fun. If they're in here and they're like real aggressive, like if you're catching them on that little bait, if you're catching them on a little bait and they're just choking on it, then I found that you can pick up a big bait and throw it in there because they're just feeding real aggressively. You know, because then you can throw that big bait, you can throw it farther, you can work it a little more aggressively, and the fish don't care because they're feeding aggressive. But, excuse me. But most of the time, if it's not this little bitty thing, they don't want anything to do with it. There's definitely a very limited window of opportunity on these fish that, you know, you got to be here early, you got to be here right at the, you know, crack of dawn, and yeah, you get a little limited window of opportunity. I think what it is the fish, you know, there's a period of time there where they just can't see the bait quite as well, and they're kind of going off of, you know, vibration and movement, and it's, you know, they can't see it as well. But once the light gets up enough where they can see the bait a little bit better, I think that's when they, you know, stop hitting it. That's my theory anyway. I mean, it's proven to be the case, you know, for the last several years. But, you know, and these fish are out here, you know, they're feeding on the bait. They're not relating to, you know, they're not relating to stumps or brush or anything like that. They're just out here suspended in and around the pods of bait fish. And so, you know, when you're out here in the middle of the channel in 26, 27 foot of water, it doesn't really matter. Again, I'll let that one sit. This fish feels like, there he just grew up a little bit, not much. Nah, he just fighting hard. Little guy. Little guys. No. Cool. Still fun. Even the little ones are still fun. You know, there's something to be said for being able to keep the bait up in the water column, because most of the time these fish are not real deep. You know, most of the time they're down there suspended, you know, anywhere from 3 to like 8 foot. They're not real deep. They're just suspended under the surface, and so being able to keep that bait, at that height or just a little above them, they're much more apt to come up to get a bait than they are to go down to get a bait. So if you get down below them, it's almost like, you're just wasting your time. Yep. That's, confidence is so much of fishing. I mean, so much of what we do out here is just, do you have confidence in what it is you're doing? Do you, believe that it'll catch a fish and believe that you're doing all the right things? And if you do, and if you believe that, and if you have confidence in it, then odds are you'll catch fish with it. And that's the whole premise. And that's why sometimes, folks, will go out with a guide, or they'll go out with somebody to get them to show them, how it's done or how they're doing it, just to help bolster their confidence a little bit. And it makes a difference. I mean, it really does help, sometimes to have somebody, to show you, hey, this is how I'm doing it, or this is how it's supposed to be done. And, that really does help you sometimes.
A Lasting Touch Furniture Restoration is a household name when it comes to furniture refinishing and repairs, as well as chair caning and seat weaving. For the sportsman, A Lasting Touch also offers gun stock and pistol grip refinishing. With over 25 years of combined experience, A Lasting Touch is a name you can trust. Pickup and delivery is available for larger items, and walk-ins are always welcome. Come see us on India Hook Road in Rock Hill, or visit us on the web at altrefinishing.com. And for special offers, be sure to like us on Facebook.
For the best selection of firearms, visit Sportsman Inc. Try out our 2 pistol ranges. We buy, sell, and trade guns. Sportsman Inc. is a full-time gunsmith on site, and we offer concealment classes. You'll find everything you need for hunting and fishing at Sportsman Inc., Hands Mill Highway in Rock Hill.
Who isn't tired of tangled fishing rods, bent or broken rod guides? Then you need the Rod Jimmy. The Rod Jimmy makes it easy to protect your valuable fishing rods with easy on and off protection. Made of durable materials for a lifetime of use, the Rod Jimmy will more than pay for itself with one season. Say goodbye to tangled rods and lines. Store and carry more rods securely and easily with the Rod Jimmy. Order yours today at therodjimmy.com. That's therodjimmy.com.
Still fun though. Okay, I mean, to catch them on top water in January, I mean, it's hell. Catching fish on top water in the middle of January, I'm not complaining about the size. It's still fun to me. I mean, I don't care. I mean, everybody, we'd all like them to be, everyone be a 3-pounder, but anymore around here, 3-pounders have become pretty hard to come by. So, it's just fun to catch them. No way. Gee, there's nothing wrong with that fish's metabolism. Oh God. I mean, that fish is almost, technically in South Carolina, they only got to be 12 inches, and that fish close to being a keeper. They were saying there for a while that they, suggested folks only eat 1 meal a week, or, 1 meal a week of fish from the lake. Now they're actually saying that you shouldn't eat any, which I think is kind of interesting. I'm trying to let those rings dissipate a little bit. Let that settle out. Hopefully I'll twitch it one time and one will jump on it. That would be kind of cool. No, didn't work out like, oop. Yeah. He come up there and got it. Little bitty feller, but no. Hey, it's the biggest one yet. I say it's a little bitty guy, but it's actually the biggest one caught so far. Still small, but he ate it. He ate it. Cool. Sweet. I'll take it. Take it. Ooh, look right there. Come on, 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 come on. A fish right there or just chasing bait. Huh. I mean, heck, water temperature is 55 degrees. I just looked at it. The first time I've looked at it up here, this 55-degree water temperature. Holy cow. Almost 56, 55.8. Which is warm because I think the rest of the lake's like 48. Come on. Ah. Come here, come here, come here. They're getting bigger. They're getting bigger. Yeah, that's a little bit better. That fish, again, nothing wrong with that fish's metabolism. He was out of the water most of the way back to the boat. Oh, yeah, he got it. I didn't even twitch that bait, and that fish came up and got that thing. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Come here. Come here. Yep, yep. That was funny. Threw it out there, was letting it sit there and just kind of letting the ring settle. And just as I was getting ready to twitch it, I saw the fish come up and boil under it. I got to take that glove off. Glove is killing me. Cool, cool. Pretty little Lake Wylie bass. That is too much fun. Too much fun. That was funny because I threw it out there and was letting it sit there. And as the thing is, you know, like I said, I was just letting the rings dissipate. And just as I was about to start to twitch it, I see that, you know, a boil. And yeah, so I started reeling. Sure enough, there was, you know, he had got it and I felt the weight. I was able to damn get a hook in him. It's always so exciting to watch the fish come up to the surface and eat that bait. Whether it be a walking bait in January or a frog in June or a buzzbait any other time of the year, it's just fun. Oh, come on. Denied. Yeah, there have been a number of times I've given up on the cast right there and think, oh, well, he's not going to bite it. Start reeling it in and have one smoke it. So just when you think, nah, they don't want it, just go ahead and work it on back to the boat, because like I said, I've seen it happen a number of times. Ease back over here and see if I can course another fish or two up. Because you know that those, you know, I caught those 3 or 4 in a row. You know those aren't the only fish there. It's just a matter that either you break up the school or spook them a little bit. I tell you, the interesting thing is the T-bow. You know, God, you know, it was neat to see them beat the Steelers, because I despise the Steelers. I despise the Steelers, but I knew damn well that the Patriots Patriots are just too good a team. And you know, as much as I'm a Broncos fan, as much as I would like to see them do well, I know better. I know better than that. But you know, yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was
yeah, little guy. Yeah, the Patriots, just way too much team for the Broncos. You know, the side imaging is changing the way that it's changing fishing. I mean, the technology and all the information is just changing fishing. It's making us much better fishermen and so much more efficient. And, you know, part of it is just learning to interpret the information. I mean, as you know, when you get out here and you ride around, I mean, heck, I've had one now for, you know, almost 2 years, and I still ride around just, you know, looking all the time. You know, I'm always, you know, finding different things and figuring out little wrinkles, little nuances that make it better or make it understand, you know, to where I understand it a little better. You know, what we're looking at is here's the boat, and then it's, you know, you can see how this is spreading away. That tells you that you're getting into deeper water. Between us and the shoreline, there's a little dip, and so we're going to come up, and then it's going to go back down. And somewhere in there, there's a brush pile that, you know, I've known about for years, but I wanted to take it and mark it on my side imaging and on my GPS. So I'd have. See, here we are. We're coming up. 13 foot. You can see some bait there, and then something over there. Let's see. And there's the dip. You see how it's starting to spread? You see how that's starting to spread, and we're getting deeper. And that brush pile is somewhere, right? That might be it right there. Well, there's something right there too. See. And now, and see, in this screen, this is actually kind of a pretty neat screen, because you can see here, as we're getting deeper, that shallow place that we came up over initially is right here, and there's the edge, and it's starting to taper off into deeper water. You've got some fish there, and you've got bait fish and more fish here, and then out here to the left, you can actually see where it's coming up shallower, and there's some rock there. But right there, I think that is that brush pile on the bottom right there. See, but you can see how there's a hard return. There's a brighter area right there. That's usually indicative of a rise, because you can see here, see how the contour lines start to go in, and see how you start to get a white return here. That tells you you're coming into shallow water, coming into a shallower place. See that? Could be a mass of rocks, but what I'll do is I'll mark it, put a waypoint on it. Yeah, you can see it a little bit there on the down imaging, but that's that brush. I mean, that actually might be a stump. That might be a big stump, because you can see that there's something in the bottom there. See, there's more of it. Whatever it is, there's more of it right there. See, there it is. You know, and I'd have to drag a bait through it, or, you know, throw a crankbait in there, but I'm fairly certain that's a brush pile. That's something mounded up there on the bottom. But the neat thing is now I have that waypoint on it. Yeah, that waypoint's 188. Now I can go here, I can go menu, I can edit this because I can go in here and change the icon because I'm using that icon for brush piles, using different icons for different things, so that, you know, the next time I'm looking for brush piles, I can take my sonar and zoom out and go, okay, well, there's one. And you start looking, okay, there's one, and there's one, and there's one, and there's one. Oh, and there's a couple more, there's a couple more. So when you start catching fish and you're looking for a particular kind of cover or structure, you know, knowing what your waypoints represent and what it is, because you can see I've got a bunch of waypoints on here, but if you don't know exactly what they are and what they represent, then it makes it hard to really use the information. So try to you know, figure out a system that works for you. That's just the one that I happen to use. Yeah, okay. Looked at this little pointer just a few minutes ago with the side imaging and the sonar and marked what looked like bait fish and some fish around. And then on that previous retrieve, I've actually felt like one grabbed the tail of that little swim bait. Apparently he didn't want it or something. That one did. That's bass. Yep, yep. Cool. That's good. Little guy, but hey, he's a fish. Cool. There you go. Close this thing up, call it a morning. It's been fun. Caught some fish on top water. Got to catch a couple on this little swim bait, even though one had whiskers. But folks, I hope you enjoyed it. It's been fun. You know, you can always check it out on the website. It's fishingwithrusty.com. If you got questions, you can reach me there. If you want to schedule a day to go fishing, again, you can reach me via the website. Shoot me an email, call me, whichever. All the information's on the website. It's fishingwithrusty.com. Remember, there is no substitute for time on the water. We'll see you. Fishing with Rusty is made possible by these great sponsors.